I thought I would record a video late at night because why not? I am awake and not busy and the dogs are being quiet. I'm getting everybody ready for bed as I am getting ready for bed myself. I didn't want to keep posting updates on, it's gonna be I'm gonna post this on YouTube, but it's going to be, I'll probably post it elsewhere, so just realize I'm doing this for YouTube, but if you see it somewhere else, I mean, it applies to you too if you have not seen any of the updates. I wanted to film this video around the beginning of December, maybe the middle of December, but it was hard with all the stuff I was dealing with, and even now, everything that we were dealing with, it was hard to take the time to want to film, to find the energy to film, and then not to cry on film when I was doing enough crying. And I already am at that point where I'm still at that point, I should say. But I was telling you guys on YouTube that at the beginning of November, well, it started near the end of October, technically. As many of you know, I have been basically a caregiver to my mom for a while. For the past few years, it was starting to get worse because also the fact that she was very abusive and controlling and like an extreme. Why I have really taken a huge time out on this channel was because my mom passed away on December 1st at about, we actually figure it was 3 a.m. around the end of October, getting sick, but we didn't know what kind of sickness it was because it was not acting like a normal flu. It was that she was coughing a lot, but also it was full body pain, kind of like what I deal with, but it was a lot of breathing struggles and breathing. It wasn't necessarily chest pain, but it was chest pain from the coughing, but it was throat pain and breathing pains. She was hurting full body mostly, which is why the attending nurse was asking her about the COVID test, and she ended up having to take an at-home test just to confirm for the attending nurse that it wasn't COVID. We know that it's not 100% accurate, obviously, but she took a test so that it was just more of a confirmation until she could feel better to come into the doctor. The nurse wanted to call 911 to have her brought in. She didn't want to go to the ER. She wanted to wait till she felt better because it was the full body pain that was bugging her the most because she was struggling to move around. But having me here, as she explained to the nurse, my daughter's the one taking care of me. She's been taking care of me for years. She can take care of me if something happens. She knows how to handle everything, and she will be here, which is true. And none of us knew what was going on. We just figured it was one of the many thousands of colds or flus she was prone to getting. It seemed like when the congestion broke down, she did much better. She started feeling a little better. She come in the living room and sat with the dogs because that's where she always wanted me to sit with the dogs and watch YouTube or watch TV, movie, whatever. And then I would make her breakfast, whatever she'd want. But then again that next day, it seemed like it got worse and she was coughing. The cough never went away, but she always has had a cough for, I don't even know how long. She has had a cough that would not go away. Doctors would do tests on her. They would do that scopy thing. I can't think of the word. It's just out of my head. Nobody could cure the cough. There was just a steady cough constantly that she would always battle and be hawking up stuff, and she'd get put on, you know, stuff to like clear up the congestion, and it would slightly ease that part, but the cough would stay. Then other times she'd go in to get more of the camera stuff done on her throat, and it just, the cough never went away. So when she had the cough this time, it was like she was normal, because there was no wetness to it, there was no congestion to it. It was the same cough she'd been having. It's just she had a lot of pain with it for her throat and for the breathing and for the lungs. It wasn't a chest pain like I explained to her doctor when she went to the doctor. I was saying it wasn't the chest pain, like chest pain you're going to go, oh, that's a heart issue, we need to deal with that. There was no indications that it was a heart issue. But then it ended up where I think it was like between 4 and 5 days where I should also point out that around the end of October was when we were having issues that we had to get insurance in the house. She was scared that the house would go into default because there's a reverse mortgage on it, but it was just that they would get insurance on it and we might have to pay a higher price. At the same time, the roofer was here telling us there's a part of the roof that is in desperate need of repair. That was also around the week that she had made the appointment to put him down. Did I say Chewbacca? So around the end of October, she was just, the middle to end of October, we had stress just battling us back and forth with a lot of stuff, and especially him back there. It'd be like when I had to face Kona getting put down. That one's gonna break me pretty bad. So Chewbacca was the first thing my mom really ever truly loved and connected to as much as she was capable of. So having to put him down and face that for her was just, it was a lot. And especially on top of everything else. So she ended up about a week into all of that. She was sitting in the chair one day and she started saying she couldn't breathe. When I put the oxygen meter on her finger, it said 64. And I noticed her skin was starting to change color at that point. And then I was realizing she literally at this point cannot breathe easy. So I screamed for Chris to call 911, but he was in the bathroom. So I was like, okay, well, I don't know if he's going to be able to call 911. This needs to happen like right now. So I ran through the house to get the phone, ran back through to grab her as she started hunching over in the chair, and I was trying to use her pajamas to pull her up. I had called 911, and the phone kept ringing. And I had actually taken the phone away. Look at the phone like, did I not just call 911? Am I so erratic or something that I didn't call 911? Because it's freaking ringing and ringing. And then I put the thing back up to my ear like, I'll just wait a second. Maybe I didn't call 911. And then sure enough, 911 operator gets on the line. And so I explained to her, my mom is struggling to breathe. She's having issues, and she was asking me, is she cognizant? Is she awake? And I was like, yes, she's just struggling to breathe. She's having a severe issue right now trying to breathe. So the lady asked the name, asked about the phone number, the address, and then, okay, if anything changes, call me back. And click. 911 hung up on me. I looked at the phone. Did 911 just hang up on me? I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my mom, and they just hung up on me? And so I'm going, I have no idea what to do with that. But okay, I guess they're coming, because she said a truck is on the way. But I was dumbfounded. Did 911 just hang up on me in an emergency? And yes, I did. So I got her in the chair, and she was still talking. She was barely there, though. She was kind of passing out in almost. So So I ran downstairs to open our screen door to make sure it stayed open, to open everything, to get the dogs in my bedroom and out of the way for the 911. And then they came through, and it was a constant questions, and there was at one point 5 to 8 people trying to get the questions, get the answers, get the stuff, go through everything, and keep battling with this question, that question, this info. Kept having to repeat the story, re-explain everything, and it just kept going and going and going. She ended up going to the hospital. We got a call saying the next morning that she had had a heart attack upon arrival, and she was out for 2 minutes before they could revive her with CPR. Then that morning she was having what was effectively a continual heart attack. They were treating it like a normal heart attack, the doctor had said, and they were trying to stabilize her and make sure she was okay. Then they had to figure out where to go from there. They ended up cracking a rib when they did the CPR, and I think that was the first time they had asked if she had orders for what to do in that situation. Yeah, she wants to survive. It took them a full week to figure out what they wanted to do. She did get stabilized, and she was doing pretty well. They said that I had to do a bypass or a stent. They ended up doing stents because bypass for her at 83 years of age was too dangerous. The doctor said it went really well. She did well. Everything went well. It could have been better. And this was the point Chris and I did not know that she had medication she was supposed to be on when she came home, like aspirin. I do think she had a lot more stuff that she didn't tell us about. And she wanted to come home early. I think it was the day after the stent surgery. She was supposed to be there a few days to ideally recover before possibly going home, but they wanted her to go to a interim facility to strengthen herself before coming home because of the surgery weakening her body and the heart attack. As far as she was concerned, we were trying to control her, keep her from coming home. She was telling them she was scared about the money and what it would cost, and they tried to explain it wouldn't cost because of her insurance. And then it was a lot of battle of wills for me and my brother trying to get her to stay there longer. Even the doctors were trying to, because we were trying to explain your body needs to recover. We're not trying to keep you from coming home. Why would we do that? But she was adamant she wanted to come home. She wanted to come home. And she was saying all the nasty stuff she could, and then sweet stuff, and then nasty stuff. And she ended up coming home. I think it was just a day or so after the stent surgery. 2 days maybe. The doctor didn't really want her to go that early, but we're obviously not a prison. We can't keep her here. And I was, yeah, we've tried. We did our best, but she's refusing to stay. So she ended up coming home. She was coming through the garage, and you could tell she was not ready to come home at all. She was very weak. She was exhausted. Even though she thought she felt good, we tried to explain you feel good because of the medication they have you on. You feel good because you are hooked up to IVs and in a hospital. When we both got her up the stairs, I think I moved this, pausing it. We ended up calling 911 again. She had conceded the point that she also was too weak, so she was done. She wanted to go back to the doctor, and they were like, weren't we just out here? Yes, you were. So she went back to the doctor for a few more days. Then when she come home, she was doing far better. Far better. She was not weak. She was not tired. and she was able to come up the stairs. She was able to make it to her chair, I think is where she went first. And then she was doing pretty good. I can't remember how many days it was. I want to say a week. This November 28th or 29th. I was trying to stop helping her stand up as much so that she would start getting the strength back in her legs at that point. Also because it was taking a toll on my body, and then I was trying to ease off for my benefit too, because I could not keep that up at all. And she needed strength in her own legs so she could walk around, because she was starting to get herself out of bed on her own. The November like 27th, 28th, 29th-ish. The night of November 29th, she disappeared into her room while I was cooking dinner. So I went to check on her, and I saw her laying down. I was like, okay, I guess she's not feeling good. She's taking a nap. I'm not going to explain all the stuff she did. Let's just say that she was a little constipated and she was trying to fix it. But then when I went to check on her again, everything had been quiet, but I kept feeling like, I feel like she's calling me. I feel like she needs me. I feel that ding, 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 ding. And even though the dogs didn't seem to hear anything either, I just was like, I gotta go check on her. Because I had sat down in the chair and I was just like, I gotta go check on her. This doesn't feel right. She was in a lot of pain. She said, something is not right. I don't feel good. And I was thinking maybe she had cracked her rib with how she was twisting her body. And I asked her about that, and she said, I don't know. I don't feel good. I don't feel good at all. And she was really nauseous. And that's when I was starting to go nauseous and in pain. That's not a good sign. And she started throwing up, and then was saying something is not right. She was looking clammy, and she was looking hot, and she didn't look good. And I had a strong hunch that was a heart issue going on. So I did call 911. Her BP had dropped a lot by the time they got here, so they took her out to the ambulance to stabilize her. They did stabilize her, and the guy was just making sure we understood that if she had another episode like she had before, it likely was not a good outcome. And we were like, yeah, we've already figured out our max is 6 months if everything is okay. The next day I got a call on the phone, and we had a lot of phone calls during the night, and a nurse had said, I was the nurse for your mom. And so I just instantly knew on the voicemail. I was like, I know exactly what this voicemail is for. It was not, your mom is fine, this all happened and it's good, she's in a room and all this. It was, your mom was here. So I took the phone down to brother. I think I played in the message first. And I was like, can't handle that one, because I had been the one who took my dad's phone call to hear them say, the nurse was like, your dad has expired. And I'm like, what? Expired? Like milk? Yes, your dad has expired. I didn't say the milk stuff. I'm just, in the mind thinking, who says expired? Because it had taken them all day to find somebody, and I was the one they found. So I was the one who got the phone call. I come back down a little bit later, and Chris was, all he did was nod, because he couldn't say anything either. My mom passed away on December 1st at about, we actually figure it was 3 a.m. around. But the person who did the death certificate put 2:45, but I was like, 2:45, it says on the doctor stuff they were moving her to try more stuff on her. So we have been trying to deal with all of that, deal with them, take care of them, deal with all of the stuff that basically hit the fan at that point, like trying to figure out bills, trying to figure out how to pay for the bills, trying to figure out, because as I said, I have for the past few years been taking care of her, so not been able to work. So then, and he has not been working either. Why we set up a GoFundMe to even bring home her ashes. It will cost a few grand. That will be down in the description. Her ashes are still at the funeral home because, as I said, it takes a few grand to bring them home. But I also always have my work that can be purchased to also help out. We have been trying to slowly sort even what to do, what we need to do. Our amazing neighbor behind us has been a tremendous help. As I told her, it's just hard for me to ask for help. I was trained not to ask for help. I was programmed that if you ask for help, is something wrong with you. So don't rely on other people. Don't lean on other people. Oh, see, I'm gonna start crying. So we have been trying to figure out everything, and I have been slowly trying to clean, even to get to the fireplace, which was an adventure because my mom was a hoarder, not like tunnel kind of hoarding situation, but keeping a lot of stuff she shouldn't have kept and hoarding a lot of stuff she shouldn't have kept. And I've been trying to clean out, and the past month alone has just been in the living room. I've been working, and I've got still so much to get rid of. My newest adventure was getting into the fireplace, only to find out that the fireplace, we were worried it would be filled up with junk on the chimney aspect, but I can't even open up the vent for it. So that was a fun situation, like, okay, well, this is not going to be a source of heat for us because I've cut out as much electricity as I possibly can, which includes heat, to save money until we figure out where we're going, what we're doing, if we're even going to be able to keep the house, because we have to figure out the reverse mortgage now. So we have a lot of stuff we're having to figure out, and I am half of the time worn out, half of the time crying, some of the time feeling okay, a lot of the time just crying and exhausted and avoiding going to bed like I am right now, but also because I wanted to take the time to do this while I felt up to it, and apologize for not posting videos as frequently as I was really hoping to. Taking the time to do all the stuff that I had planned there. I mean, unless I'm completely stopped from doing it, I'm gonna still be doing all the stuff I want to do here. I need a little patience and grace for it. I still want to and need to do a lot of the chapter reads. I still have plans for the ASMR atmosphere stuff, as well as I want to do ASMR other things. I'm not sure what kind of stuff I'll do for it. I was considering just reading stories and doing them soft voice so that you can fall asleep to them. So I just wanted to film a video instead of posting another update. Type it out to apologize for not posting as frequently as I was wanting to, not posting frequently at all, and contrary to what I was figuring, I wouldn't cry. Well, turns out that even when you deal with someone super abusive all your life, you do end up crying. I do not want to cry on camera though. So it's just been a lot to deal with, and I am doing the best that I can. I am trying to be more active on my social media. I appreciate you guys watching, and for those who do stick around and work with me through this time, I appreciate you very much. I appreciate that you watch these videos. I appreciate that you read my work. I appreciate that you tolerate my over-emotional, ridiculous, at times, self. And I apologize if I take a while to get other videos out. I want to get videos out because my work is what helps me to focus, and to structure helps my mental space. Also crying a lot apparently, even though I don't like crying, it just tires me out. Thank you for watching these videos. I super appreciate you, and as I usually say, I hope somebody has the chance to help you to smile today, or you help somebody to smile today. Thank you for watching, and have a great day or night or whenever you are watching.